Hello everyone, you're welcome to this tutorial. So in this video we'll continue with our classes on conditional formatting. In the previous video we have looked at the definition of conditional formatting. We looked at highlighting cells using some basic rules. We looked at using formulas to highlight certain cells. Right now we'll be looking at highlighting top and bottom items. Alright, so we have a data set here. It's about the quiz and exam scores of certain students, and we would want to just select the top 3, top 4, top 5, whatever. You can just use that to highlight those. So I'll select the entire grades. The first example here says we should highlight the top 2, so I'll select the entire grade, and then I'll come to conditional formatting, and over here I have top bottom rules, and here I have top 10 items. By default it's top 10, but I can change the value, and it selected all 10 because I did 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, they are 9, so it selected everything. So right here I will cancel this, and the example says we should get the top 2, so I'll just select top 2, and I'll leave it here as dark red text with light red fill, and I say okay, and that's it. It selects the top 2. But that's not all. I also want to do the least 2 students, so I still leave it as selected, and then I will apply the other formula on top of it, and it works. So we go to top bottom rules, and there is bottom 10 items, so I click on that, and I'm actually looking for the bottom 2. It's also selected the bottom 2, but I want to differentiate the coloring, so I will select green. Yep, that's quite a good contrast, so I click on OK. So I have my top 2 students, and I also have the least 2 students. That's just all about highlight top and bottom rules. However, you can also do with percentages. You can say the top 10%, excuse me, let's look at that. We can say the top 10%, top bottom percentage, above this and below average, and all that. So you can also use those to find that. Let's go to the next one, which is duplicate values. To find duplicate values, we have this data set here where we have all the added like contact names and addresses of certain customers, I believe. So some of them were entered twice, maybe some more than twice. So we want to select all those that are entered that have duplicate values. So I could just do per row. I could just start with this row and then do this row separately, or I could just select everything and ask the cell to find and format all duplicate values. So selected everything. Remember your home tab, styles group, and then conditional formatting, and we want to select duplicate values. So we go to highlight. That's where we'll find our duplicate values, and I just click on that, and it says duplicate. Let's see what else are there. Unique. So if I just want just unique values, those that don't appear more than once, or those that appear just once, I could just use unique. If I want to make duplicate, those appear twice and above. So let's leave it at duplicate, and then let's leave it this way, and I click on OK. So right here I see that Thomas, Hardy, and all these guys appeared twice. So what it did, I believe, is that it selected those that are duplicate on both sides. Now let's see if we are going to have a okay, it's the same people. Yeah, so this person and his address appeared twice. We have it here. Yeah, the addresses are not different from the contact names. They are like the same one and the same for one person. Okay, the same for each person. Okay, so that is what we have, duplicate values. Okay, so the last item we'll be looking at today in conditional formatting, this video for conditional formatting, will be data bars. Now what do data bars look like? How do I explain that? Okay, look at these values now. When I want to apply, or if I want to apply data bars, Excel will actually look at the highest value and give that value 100% length. I would say 100% length. So if the highest value is this 8611, which I suppose it is, okay, there is the higher one here, 8848. So Excel will give it a full bar, 100%. Now others, the length of others will now be percentages of this. It may not indicate it. The length of others will now be percentages of this, but this, if it is the highest, which I assume it is, will have a full bar. So let's select all of this and see how that works. So I select the entire cells that I want to format, home tab, styles group, conditional formatting, and I want to do data bars. So I click here. Now these are different colors, anyone you want. Okay, so okay, these are gradient fields. I can decide to make it solid field. These are also solid fields. So gradient fields are actually the I can't see that, but let's just select one of this. Now in gradient fields, the color fades as you go from left to right. The color fades. All right, it fades. But if you make it solid fill, which we will do right now, the color doesn't fade, it just remains solid. Now, as I said, this is actually, I believe, the highest value. Or is there any other higher than that? I don't think so. That's the highest value. Okay, so it gives it 100% bar, 100% fill, and then others will now take a percentage value, their values as percentages of this. Like this is about half of it, almost half. This is about 80% thereabout of it, and the rest just take their values from there. Now there are other things you can do with the data, but let's just see the rules. Okay, let's undo this first, and then here, data bars, and let's just see more rules. Now when you click on more rules, there are several other things you can do with it. If you want to show the bar only, you can click on this solid fill, as we saw earlier. I could do gradient fill and it just fades out. If you don't want it to have a border, you could say no border. If you want it to have a border, you say solid border, and that is it. Okay, if you want to include negative values and axis, you could click on this and select however you want the negative values to be. But in this data set, I don't think we have negative values. The data set is actually about the length of different mountains, yes, in different countries. So we cannot have, oh yeah, so Everest is the highest. Yeah, I didn't look at that. Okay, so we cannot have negative values of mountains. That was what I was trying to say. So the bar direction, we have, if you want it to flow from left to right or from right to left, so that's the context. I believe that's what the context is, just like the normal, how it should look like normally, left to right or right to left. So if you just want to be particular about how you want it to look like, just the left to right, and it gives you that. If not, you could say right to left, and it shifts to the right and then flows from the right to the left. So you could also leave it in context, which is just like the normal thing, how it should look like in context, since we are looking at lengths of mountains. So I click on my OK, and that is what we have. You can also change your colors from that. Okay, so that will be all on conditional formatting. This part, or this part for conditional formatting. We looked at highlighting top and bottom items, duplicate values, and data bars. In the next class, we are going to look at, or in the next video, we are going to look at color scales and icon sets. Color scales and icon sets. Thank you very much. This data sheet will be available in the description. I'll make it available for every one of us so you can download it, work with the examples, and have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Bye everyone. See you in the next video. Yeah.